When Elijah was 11, he believed monsters only lived in stories. That illusion shattered one bitter October evening, in the woods behind a house that seemed too big to belong to any one family. It was the kind of house you'd expect to see in magazines. Vaulted ceilings, sprawling lawn, floor-to-ceiling windows that swallowed the sun during the day and reflected only your face at night. Elijah had always felt something off about it, though he never admitted it to his friends. To them, Tyler's place was a kingdom of freedom. And tonight, with no school the next morning and a group sleepover in full swing, the kingdom was theirs. It started as any other night would have, snacks piled in greasy towers on the floor. Game controllers passed between sticky hands. Jokes that made no sense, but caused howling laughter. Elijah, Tyler, Marcus, and Jay were inseparable, 4 sixth-grade boys with too much time and too little fear. But that evening, something in the air felt wrong. The sky was unusually colorless, a dull, leaden gray, like the world had lost its contrast. Even the trees behind Tyler's house stood too still, like they were holding their breath. They wandered out just before sunset, down the trail behind the property, where Tyler had built a fort over the summer. It was, in fact, a platform hastily constructed from stolen lumber and rope. Perched between 2 trees, it groaned with every step. They climbed up one by one, joking about zombies and bears, and who'd pee their pants first if either showed up. Elijah tried to laugh with them, but something deep in his chest told him not to. That's when he heard it. A faint crunching sound, like someone slowly walking across dry leaves. He held his breath. Crunch, pause. Crunch again. Tyler, Elijah whispered. Someone's down there. Tyler waved him off, but Marcus nudged him, his face pale. No, I heard it too. Now, everyone fell silent, eyes scanning the darkening woods below. The fort was barely 6 feet off the ground, but it suddenly felt like the only thing separating them from whatever waited beneath. Tyler, trying to sound braver than he felt, pulled out his phone and called his dad. 10 minutes later, Mr. Carmichael arrived, tall, rigid, flashlight in one hand and a pistol in the other. He swept the area with practiced eyes, said it was probably a fox or a deer, then walked them back home in silence. He didn't say it aloud, but Elijah noticed the safety was off the pistol, and Mr. Carmichael never looked away from the woods. They tried to push the fear away, drowning it in video games and jokes about how scared Elijah had looked. But the fear stayed. It pressed against their minds like cold fog creeping in under the door. Then Jay brought up the cabin. My cousin said there's some old shack out there. Hunter's cabin or something. Been abandoned for years. No windows. Just sits there, middle of nowhere, like it's waiting. Waiting. That word stuck in Elijah's mind like a thorn. They should have laughed it off. But Tyler grabbed his dad's backup flashlights from the garage and dared them to come with him. Elijah didn't want to go. He didn't. But no one wants to be a coward. They crept back into the trees, one by one, beams of light cutting through the blackness like blades. The trail dissolved after a while, swallowed by undergrowth. The trees grew denser, the air colder. Then they saw it. The cabin slouched in the clearing, crooked and black against the sky. Its roof sagged in the center. The windows were boarded, except for one, the glass shattered like a spiderweb. The front door hung crooked, swaying slightly even though there was no wind. And the smell, it was immediate. Sour, thick, rotting, like old meat and wet carpet. Elijah gagged, covering his mouth. Dead animal, Marcus muttered, though he didn't sound convinced. They climbed through the broken window. The inside was worse than Elijah imagined. Dust choked the air, thick with a sticky substance. Mold climbed the walls like ivy. Broken furniture lay scattered, some of it splintered like someone had smashed it with rage. They split up. Tyler and Jay took the right side. Elijah and Marcus headed left. They found a narrow hallway leading to a room with a sagging bed, a cracked dresser, and a single light bulb hanging from a frayed wire. On the ceiling, half hidden by shadows, was a square attic hatch. Elijah shone his light up at it. Something about it made his skin crawl. Then they heard it. A scream. Tyler's voice, raw and panicked, came from the other side of the cabin. Elijah didn't think. He ran. Marcus followed. They met Tyler and Jay sprinting down the hallway, wide-eyed, gasping, stumbling over each other in the rush to escape. They didn't stop running until they were back at the house. Locked in the basement, the lights on, hearts still racing, Tyler finally told them. There was someone in there, he whispered. Tall, gaunt, standing in the corner like he was part of the wall. I thought he was dead until he moved. He stepped toward us. He paused, swallowing hard. There was a body, lying on the floor, blood everywhere. I think he was dead too. Elijah couldn't speak. The room felt colder now. The walls seemed closer. Jay sat shaking, muttering. We walked past him. We didn't even see him. Mr. Carmichael was furious when he discovered the news. Furious, then quiet. His face changed when Tyler mentioned the man and the blood. He called the police. They came fast. Too fast. Like they were already half expecting the call. 10 state troopers. A search team. They found the man in the cabin. He didn't resist. Just sat in a corner, next to a corpse. The floor was sticky with blood. The body's eyes were open. Then they found the closet. Elijah had walked past it and touched the door frame. Inside were 3 more bodies. Stacked. Stained. Arranged. Each had been stabbed. Deep, violent wounds that left dark red pools seeping into the floor. The weapon was found under a mattress in the back room. A hunting knife. Nearly a foot long. The man had been living there. No name. No records. No one claimed him. Some said he was a drifter. Others whispered he was part of something darker, something older. The case never made national news, just a local article. No photos. No names. But Elijah still dreams of it. The sound of footsteps beneath the treehouse. The smell inside the cabin. The attic hatch. And the space between the closet and the wall is just big enough for someone to watch from. Every October, Elijah checks the locks twice. He doesn't go near the woods. And sometimes, when he walks past a mirror at night, he sees a shape that isn't his. Just watching. Waiting.